Gemini, hello. Thank you so much for joining me here in this extended reading. I am very excited to dive in here. So for those of you who are new to the patronage, thanks for joining, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, I thank you for your continued investment. So my friends, we are looking at someone that is sick of this long journey. There's like a winding road, lots of switchbacks. It seems to be meandering, and that kind of more emotional energy, like non-linear energy, is not the kind of movement you want right now. You are like, show me the money. You know, like, where's the practical, concrete action? Like, how are we really going to make this happen? I need to start seeing some results. And I think not seeing results or feeling like you're being sort of led on this wild goose chase, it's just exhausting you. 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands, like this mental and physical exhaustion, overload, difficult to sustain a positive outlook with the Sun in reverse, difficult to sustain a positive outlook when you're not seeing concrete results, either from yourself and your own plans or from someone else who has like all of these great ideas, but nothing is really like materializing. That's what I'm feeling here. So we're going to get into some clarity now using the Aquarian Tarot. Oh, what are we looking at? I'm actually going to start with the Knight of Cups. I want to know where like someone's heart is in the right place, yours or someone else's. It's like your heart is in the right place and you have all these like fantasies, ideas, dreams. That's the word. You have all these dreams, a lot of feelings about them. What are they? Knight of Cups. Why is the Knight of Cups here for Gemini in July? Okay, Knight of Cups clarified by the King of Cups. It did come out in reverse. King of Cups, you know, a Knight of Cups, King of Cups, sort of this heavily emotional, spiritual, dreaming type energy. Let's look at the Queen of Coins, who seems to be the foil to this, so that we can get some further clarity here. Why is the Queen of Coins here for Gemini in July? Yeah, 3 of Wands in reverse, exactly. I'm going to show it to you in reverse. Here's what it looks like upright. This is the card about making plans for the future. And look at this. I think the King of Cups, Knight of Cups energy, like if this is a person in your life or you, this part of your energy or this energy in your life is so emotional about, or so in dreamland and fantasy land about future plans, that the plans don't seem to be moving forward in a concrete way. And I think that's why it's like, that's why the Queen of Coins is a little bit like, you know, the Queen of Earth is like, these future plans are never going to materialize. Unless I start seeing something concrete, it's like, I'll believe it when I see it, you know? Whereas the Knight of Cups is like, I believe it. Like, we're going. Like, if we can dream it, we can do it. The Queen of Coins is like, if we can do it, we can dream it. That's funny. Right? Like, the Queen of Coins is like, I don't even want to, like, why are we spending all this time dreaming away? Like, dreams are really nice. Show me some real stuff, and then like I'll invest in these future plans. So again, maybe these are 2 different people in your life, like Knight of Cups, Queen of Coins, and you are one of them. Pick your side here. I think the energy is pretty mutable. Gemini, mutable. Or these are warring energies within you. The part of you that is like staying in dreamland and not so much making moves in the concrete physical world. And the part of you that's like, you need to make some moves in the concrete physical world, or else the future is just simply not going to materialize. And that's scary for Queen of Coins energy. Queen of Coins energy needs security, needs to feel like they have their business under control, and not just like literal business, but like their business, you know? Queen of Coins is about her business. Let's look at this Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands, the Sun in reverse. Like, let's look at this as a lump, because it's all the same thing. It's like you're not having a very positive outlook about this. Let's figure out why. And I'm not saying you should have a positive outlook about it. I don't know. We're going to find out. Knight of Cups. It's like, why aren't you having a positive outlook about this? Because I don't think maybe you're not sure if you can really trust this Knight of Cups energy. Maybe you're like, I'm not sure if this is the movement, you know, like, is this the way we move forward? Because again, knights are movement. So the Knight of Cups quality of movement is water. You know, the way water moves, it moves in lots of ways, pretty unpredictable. You could even see this as a river, like a winding river that sort of has a lot of bends and twists. You know, Gemini, maybe you or someone in your life is kind of taking everybody on this winding journey. And the Knight of Cups, whoever that is like, trust, trust, trust. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. No, 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 no. Like, I have the sun. I have the sun. I have the vision. I have the dream. Like, we're going towards the dream. And there's you or somebody in your life is kind of like, I need to start seeing something concrete, and not only like dubious, like the Queen of Coins, but like exhausted and stressed. It's not just like healthy skepticism over here. It's like absolute breaking point energy about this. What else can you tell us about this Knight of Cups energy that's causing so much stress? Y'all know I don't love it when the cards fly. Hold on a second. Okay, Justice. Yeah. Balance. Justice feels like the overall goal that you're working for. I mean, we could take this literally. Maybe you are working towards some sort of social justice. And I think that term defines as an umbrella for a lot of things, you know, like there's a lot of ways to be active towards bringing more balance into society, you know, like bringing your definition of justice into society, okay? But it's like, this is the future plans, is working towards justice, working towards balance. And it's sort of this idea of like, okay, we can't just be dreamers of the future. It's time to take some real concrete action towards a more just society or towards a more balanced future. Because again, justice holds the scale of balance, the scales of balance. And that's why the stress is real, you know, like issues of social justice are issues for absolutely everyone. They affect some more than others in the current structure of our society. But it's like, it's this idea that I'm feeling of, we aren't free until everyone is free. You know, so if there's a system of justice that oppresses some and boosts others, there is oppresses some and boosts others, the scales are imbalanced. And that's why the anxiety and the exhaustion is real. You know, it's not just like, oh, you're really worried and you need to have faith. Like, no, it's not some love and light crap in here. Like, this is this is serious, you know? And so the physical and mental strain is absolutely warranted. It's absolutely real in this situation because dreams just aren't enough to right this wrong or to bring balance to this situation. You need more than dreams in this case. You need you need the heart energy of the cups. Don't get me wrong. You need heart movement. You absolutely do, because your heart has to be invested in whatever it is that you are doing, especially a cause for justice. And justice is inherently heart energy because the heart energy talks about balance. It talks about equal give and take, reciprocity. What we give out, we get back, which allows us to stay open. You know, it's when we don't give back after we don't get back after we give and give and give that causes us to eventually close the heart. So it's like the heart can stay open when things are balanced, when the energies are balanced. And I think that's why the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups are here so strongly, because the heart wants to be open. Like, I feel it, Gemini. I feel this heart energy, whether it's you or someone else, that's like, heart forward here, heart forward, but something needs to come into balance. Even if this Justice card is just talking about a more balanced approach, right? Because I felt the Queen of Coins and the Knight of Coins as foils for one another. It's like, yeah, you can dream, 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 but please also do. You know? You can feel, but also get your hands busy. Take action. Okay, I think there's one more that wants to help clarify this Knight of Cups Justice energy in terms of the exhaustion you're feeling. I mean, this could be talking about some burnout energy for sure. Okay. Queen of Swords. I love how I say burnout and then the Queen of Swords comes in, who is essentially the foot soldier of justice, which I've never thought of her that way before, but it's true. They both hold the sword of truth, right? Justice is sort of, I think, the larger archetype of the Queen of Swords energy. And the Queen of Swords is like the earthly embodiment of the Justice card. The Queen of Swords, they both hold the sword of truth, and the Queen of Swords says, this is not right. I'm drawing a boundary here, or this is not right, I block that. The Queen of Swords upholds boundaries. The Queen of Swords is a warrior for the heart. I mean, look at the roses on the sword hilt and the way she is covering that heart. It's like the Knight of Cups is like open heart, love and light. Okay, and then the Justice energy is like, what? Or the Queen of Swords energy is like, what? No, pal. It's not, again, these could be energies within you. It's not all love and light. Bring some of that into balance. Like, yeah, open heart, good, awesome. Like feelings, moving from feelings is absolutely the way things start and like the heartbeat of the movement. Love it, okay. But also like boundaries, you know, like you're not just some sort of open thing for everybody to come in and take. Like we have to put some parameters around this. We have to put in some structure, some limitations here in order to get real, get practical, make it sustainable. Because sometimes when the energy is too open, you get painful energetic exchanges. You get burnout, you get exhaustion. You open yourself up for people to take advantage potentially. So it's like these two energies are really similar, right? It's this attitude of like, no, you need limits, you need boundaries. We need structure here because we're thinking long term. We're thinking long term. Have the long game in mind, not just getting swept up in the emotions that you feel in the moment. You know, keep the larger perspective in mind is what is being like begged of you, or you are begging someone else. You know, those pot holder things take so long to make. They're really fun, but like they do, it is a meticulous, repetitive sort of task or craft. Meander. Again, we come back to this idea of the long game. It's a long road ahead. It's a long journey. Don't blow your wad. Bring it into balance. Have the boundaries you need to make this sustainable so that you aren't burning out, because actually for a long-term vision like this and to carry it out in the real world, you need a more sustainable, practical take. You need the heart too, but it needs to come into balance, a more balanced approach to the long game, basically. I want to see if the Illuminated Earth Oracle has anything else to offer Gemini. Any advice for Gemini here? Ooh, any other energy for Gemini? Interesting, I just saw the combustion card flip, which spoke to me of like the initial burst flame. I'm gonna get it, hold on. Another card came out. Yeah, eruption, exactly. And here's combustion right here. I love when the messages are so clear. Okay. The initial combustion, right? The spark. This is honestly like, this is feeling to me like the Black Lives Matter stuff. This is feeling to me of like the protests that have absolutely erupted recently, which is like amazing. You know, there's no one has a question about my politics here. But it's like the eruption that has been building for eons and eons and eons, with the tension finally burst through the surface, and people started to actually see the violence that Black people are experiencing at the hand of police, you know, just as the catalyst example for the catalyst energy that lit this movement up. Okay, it's like it finally erupted, it finally blew up again, by the way, right? It's blown up before, but then it went underground again after the Civil Rights Movement, and now pff, here it is again, bursting. So we have this like, and you know what? Maybe this is about the Black Lives Matter movement for you. Maybe this is about the revolution energy, the protest energy that's been happening lately, but maybe this is about something else, and about something else, like for you, more personal. So take it how it resonates, but I think this is the clearest example that I'm feeling. Is we have the eruption, we have the initial burst, and the thing is, like, it's really hard for even a volcano. It erupts for a short amount of time. It doesn't continue erupting for years and years and years. It could stay active for years and years and years and years. And I think that's what the Queen of Coins wants you to do. Wants you to be able to sustain this level of activism and activity for years and years and years after the initial eruption, by recognizing that you can't sustain the emotional intensity of the initial eruption. Like, you just can't. It's not the way anything works in nature, and it's not the way humans work. It has to ebb after the flow. After the initial combustion comes a different, you know, like the counterbalance. Ooh, remember how I felt like the switchbacks were the pendulum swing? It's like, this is the switchback. And you might be finding yourself kind of frustrated, like, hey, what happened to all our ideals and all our dreams and all our like heart energy around everything that was happening? It's like, well, now, you know, lest we risk burnout by trying to keep everything at eruption energy and like keep the flame sky high, it's like now maybe the flame needs to get into coals. It's like you burn the flame for long enough, then the coals get nice and hot, and it's actually the coals that will help, once the coals are hot, you can actually get cooking. You ever try to cook over a campfire? Cooking over the flame is actually not the fastest way to boil water or to cook a stew. You want to cook a stew over the coals because it's the coals that are sustainably hot. And theoretically, you could keep those coals alive as long as you have air. They never have to go out. The flame will go out. It has to. It can't sustain itself unless you constantly feed it, in which case you're gonna use the woods all around you and just use up all your resources. Hello, use up all your resources, right? Burn all your wood. You're burning the coal at both ends here, burning all your wood. And it's like, pull back to find like the underlying heat that keeps the volcano active for a longer period of time. And it's over that kind of heat that you can actually cook. It's like, you want to get this cooking? That's what we need. That's the kind of heat we need. Interesting. Postcards from the liminal space. Actually, no. We want a door. We want to see, Gemini, what is the door opening for you this month? The door opening for Gemini in July. What is the doorway opening for Gemini in July? Ooh. It says, draw down the moon. The forest nymphs dance in sheer delight, singing soft songs. Find us in the wild. Good night. Draw down the moon. Perhaps you need to read that book if you haven't already. Draw down the moon. Draw down the moon. It's interesting that there's all this sun energy, specifically sun in reverse. And then in drawing down the moon, it's like at nighttime, things go to sleep, things go a little bit dormant, but the fairies and like the magic of the forest comes to life, and there's like a different kind of magic and insight available. More like, oh, sorry, I just got them. I'm like talking away. Just got the message. Draw down the moon. The Queen of Coins just looked at me like, stop talking. That's not the message. Okay, sorry. If the Knight of Cups is in the energy of the moon, the energy of emotional, internal visioning, dreaming, spiritual energy, psychic energy, all of that kind of stuff, the Queen of Coins says, draw down the moon. Bring the ideals and the emotions and those kinds of like spiritual energies down to earth. Draw them. They're important, okay? I think they're important. That's the cornerstone of my work. But she's like, okay, cool. But draw them down to earth. I think that's the message. Bring it down to earth, where the Queen of Coins can roll up her sleeves and get the hands busy. It's like, get busy now. That was funny. The postcards from the liminal space. Let's get you some guidance from the liminal space for Gemini in July. Okay, I feel like there's one more, but let me grab this one first and then we'll take a look. Okay, wow. Interesting. I associate this card with Leo energy, and the sun is right at the center of your reading, which is Leo energy. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. We see the crown. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. interesting because this is also like rain is emotional energy coming from the sky, and it's like bringing the rains down to earth. Like, let it rain, let it rain. Let it flood. What is this? Let it rain, let it rain. Because look at the queen, these two crowns here, right? She's the only one with that crown on her head. And I think the rain energy is certainly all this water energy with the Knight and King of Cups. So it's like, bring that, it's like, I think this card is talking about the dual approach, the balanced approach between water and earth. Let it rain, R-A-I-N, and let it rain, R-E-I-G-H-N, you know? G-N, sorry. Spelling. Let it rain, let it rain. It's like both rise up into leadership, practical leadership perspective. The one wearing the crown needs to have the long view, playing the long game. And also let it rain, R-A-I-N, like let the emotional, spiritual insight impact the long game, the leadership tactic here. Okay, that's interesting. One more for Gemini in July. Elevate, okay, yeah. Rising up. I think elevate is talking about this energy I keep feeling from like justice, the Queen of Coins, and the Three of Wands, of getting the higher perspective. Elevate. Go up to the top floor and see the whole vision, the wider view, rather than trying to keep yourself in the boiling point of the volcano. You know, in that concentrated energy place of like, yeah. No. Elevate. Go up, look out, over, into the future, and make a concrete plan that is more sustainable for the long term. However that is playing out in your life. Okay. Interesting. Or again, if this whole thing is about someone else in your life that you're kind of frustrated with, give them, like, it's like that's the page y'all need to both get on in order to actually move something forward. Okay, Gemini, what a reading. Super interesting. If you want to dive into this in a more personal way, how it's playing out in your specific life scenario, get at me for a personal reading. unseenhandshealing.com. Take a look at my offerings, and patrons always get 10% off. All right, y'all, take care. I'll talk to you soon.